Hey guys, welcome back to Never Lose Your Nerd. In this video, I'm going to do an episode review over the penultimate episode 8 of Daredevil. This is the one before the finale, so next week it's over. So, yeah, this was definitely a good episode. Before I get into it, just wanted to say that real quick. This is probably top 2, top 3 favorites of mine for this season. There will be spoilers, so in case you haven't seen it, I guess go watch it if you want to and come back to this video if you care about my review. Before we get into it, if you would, like the video, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of this season, if you're into Daredevil or not, and we'll get into it. Yeah, there was a lot going on this episode. We had some characters coming back that we saw from the first episode. We had some crazy things going on with Vanessa and Fisk. A big culmination at the end that was crazy. Before I get into it, I'm almost done with the full catch up on Daredevil. The original series, it's only 3 seasons, but a lot of episodes and they're very long. So it's taken a while to get through. But I'm gonna have it done before this weekend. My cousin Andrew's coming over Saturday to do a video, so I'm gonna do a whole series recap with him over the original series. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. I said probably gonna do a couple other videos with him, but not sure. But definitely gonna do, since he's gonna be here anyways, and he's a massive Daredevil fan. I was thinking I might as well just do a whole season recap with him. He probably doesn't remember a lot of it, but like I said, I can still have somebody to talk to about it and bounce off my what'd you call it? My reactions to it and my thoughts and stuff, and he can tell me what he thought because he's a massive Punisher fan too. So that's probably the next series I'll watch is Punisher after I finish Daredevil. So yeah. But we get reintroduced to Bullseye, which we saw him in episode 1. He ended up killing Foggy and getting into a big fight with Matt and getting thrown off the roof, which I still don't know how he survived that. Like, he still is technically a human. Like, how do you survive a 10-story fall and your brains aren't on the freaking sidewalk? Still doesn't make sense to me, but a lot of this series doesn't make sense, especially going back to the original series. Just the things that normal humans can do. I get it, it's a comic book show, but these people should not be able to survive all this. Daredevil should have been dead a long time ago from all his injuries and just ridiculous things that he's able to do, even with his heightened sense, and he's still just a human, a blind guy. But it's basically like it's basically like he has his sight, things he can do. So we're introduced to Bullseye. He gets put back in Gen Pop because he's in protective custody. He's by himself, so he doesn't get killed because he was a federal agent. And come to find out, Fisk has him put back in Gen Pop, I guess, so he'll be killed. We don't know why yet, but we do find out eventually. We do see Matt and Heather kind of arguing because she did almost die from Muse, and Daredevil came in to save her. Of course, she doesn't know Matt is Daredevil, but she's saying like these guys are cowards and they're only in it for themselves. And Daredevil was there, but I saved myself. I shot him, so I basically saved myself. Which I think she should be a little bit more grateful because if he wouldn't have showed up, I'm pretty sure she would have been killed because she lost a lot of blood and she was very weak. And the only reason she had a chance to shoot him is because, Matt was fighting him and she saw the opportunity and did take it, which good on her. But if it wasn't for him, 99% she would have died anyway. So I think she should be a little bit more appreciative, but he definitely wasn't liking it. And you can tell he really wants to tell her his secret. This goes on through the whole episode with him kind of arguing with her and her asking a bunch of questions and stuff. Of course, why he's always beat up and he's distant and everything. And this reminds me of the original series. Like I said, I'm going through it. This is a lot of fights that he had with Foggy and Karen because he was always gone. Before they knew who he was always gone. He was always beat up. He was always bruised. He would always come up with an excuse like, oh, I got in a bar fight. I got robbed. I fell, which is dumb, ridiculous. But eventually they kind of figured it out. They're like, no, you're leading a secret life, a double life. You're in a fight club or something. I don't think they ever said that, but it's probably what they were thinking. Or a lot of them thought that he was self-harming himself. So a lot of these things are coming back that he's done before. He pushes people away. He's wants to be Daredevil, and You know, his other life is just his other life, but he basically is Daredevil. If he could do that 24/7, he would, not having to hide it. But and so we saw Bullseye getting put in Gen Pop, and eventually he does break out. We see Fisk and Vanessa. Fisk takes her down to see Adam, and the whole time you think she's gonna break Adam out and let him go because I guess he's kind of innocent. He said he doesn't know, he didn't know that she was, I guess, with Fisk, but she's a very high profile person, and I don't know if he did, if he did know, if he didn't. I mean, it kind of isn't his fault, but you can't really leave loose ends because he could become a witness or he could cause problems for them later. So Vanessa ends up killing him, shooting him. So she's definitely, I mean, she's not a good person, definitely, but she's definitely down the darker path because Fisk said, I kept my word. I didn't kill him. He's still alive, but Vanessa ended up killing him. So she took care of that problem, which was Adam. And Vanessa gets invited to the, I can't remember exactly what it's called, the black tie gala, white and black, dress up thing for Mayor Fisk. And she gets invited to that, and she invites Matt, but he doesn't want to go because, of course, him and his relationship with Kingpin. And like I said, he doesn't want to tell her anything. He can't really, let any secrets go. She's just very suspicious and like, you're not here. You're distant. I need to know what's going on, but he's not going to tell her. But he does end up agreeing to go with her. And then we see Matt with his partner. There's this guy, I guess he's defrauding teachers or something. I don't really remember the full thing of what was going on, but they're trying to represent this guy. And Matt can tell he's lying, and he ends up getting an argument with his, I can't remember her name, I'm sorry, with his colleague. And he's like, none of this matters, we represent people, but it doesn't matter. White Tiger, we got him off. He ends up getting killed. The guy with the candy corn or whatever, he gets 6 months, but that guy was a criminal anyway, so he kind of got what he deserved, I think. And they're like, I don't want to represent this guy. He's a liar and everything. He ends up getting an argument with him. And same thing, she tells him the same thing. Like, you're never here. You're distant. You're always bruised and beat up. You're basically not a good lawyer. Same thing with having with Foggy. That's why they ended up breaking up because of the same thing. So basically, he's not a good friend. He's not a good colleague. He's a good crime fighter. He's a good vigilante, but being a friend and everything, he's not. He's not good at any of that. So I guess we'll fast forward to the end with the when they're at the party. One thing I wanted to talk about was BB Urich. She confronts the police commissioner because he finds the vigilante task force guys beating up a guy in the back. They put his hand in a fryer, which is cruel. And they're like, "We don't listen to you anymore. We're basically above you now. Where you're not our boss anymore." And then BB ends up finding him and kind of asking him some questions. And basically, what it seems like is he's going to give her some information. He's like, "I have files on all these guys and everything," which is probably going to mean he's going to be killed. He'll probably die at this next episode. We'll see what happens, but you can tell he's being watched and everything. But I predict he'll be dead by this next episode. Oh, another thing is we see Swordsman. I guess Fisk is asking him if he's going to be a donor and kind of, you know, seeing if he's going to help him out. And I don't think he will. I don't know what's going on with Swordsman and all that. But he's in this episode again. I don't know if he'll be in the next episode, possibly. Maybe he'll die too. We'll see. But kind of like intimidating him and asking him what he's going to contribute. But Matt ends up showing up eventually, and we see Bullseye breaking out, which he breaks his tooth. Oh, I guess one thing I forgot is Matt Matt gets invited by Bullseye to see him in prison before he breaks out. So he gets put in Gen Pop, and then he reaches out to Matt, kind of like a plea bargain, like, I'm pleading for my life, like I can give you information. Matt wants to know why he killed Foggy, who hired him. He won't let him know until he gives him some protection, and Matt smashes his head into to the table and all that. And I don't know if he was doing that to help him or what happened, because that's how one of the reasons he ended up getting out is using his tooth to spit into the guard's face. This is crazy. And getting out, this is wild. And like I said, these guys are just humans, but they're basically superheroes with super everything. But he ends up breaking out and showing up at the party. And Matt finds out through listening to Fist that Vanessa uh, had Foggy killed. I guess backtrack again. Just going through this in my mind. He goes to the bar they used to go to all the time, and the lady was saying, "Well, we might as well finish this because Foggy never finished his drink." Oh, Josie's finished his drink, and he comes to find out. I guess he was celebrating that he was gonna win the trial or something, and I guess that's why Vanessa had him killed. Because I'm like I said, I'm not at the end of season 3 yet, so I'm guessing that's when Fisk got put away for the 6 years that they're talking about. And I guess that's why Vanessa had him killed because he either won the trial or was gonna win the trial. So he ends up finding that out, like at that moment. Like I said, Vanessa's asking him questions. He's off listening to Fisk with his super hearing. And so Bullseye shows up and he hears it. And basically he jumps in front of him, saves Fisk's life. So we're gonna see how that comes into the next episode. I guess that's why he saved him because the Bullseye guy did say that that's what you do, right? You the heroes save the bad, even if they're your enemies, save the bad guys. So I guess that's why he did it. But also finding out that Vanessa had Foggy killed, I guess maybe if he didn't know that, he maybe would have let Fisk die. I don't know. Or he would have just saved him anyways. Because now Fisk is kind of gonna own him. Like it's very public now that this guy saved your life. So it's kind of like Matt can use this to his advantage to get a favor out of Fisk or be like, hey, I saved your life, you owe me, So I think that's it. That's all my notes, and kind of I need to wrap this up anyways, because I gotta go to work. So I'll see y'all. I'll definitely post a video Saturday with my cousin over Daredevil, the original series. And I'm about to post this now. And like I said, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the episode if you saw it. If you like it or not, let me know. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.